the album I was most surprised at, and I made myself listen to it. I was like, I'm just gonna check it out. Boogie with a Hoodie, bigger artist.
Really?
I really enjoyed this album. Really enjoyed this album.
Interesting. Please explain.
So I had never really listened to him. The name sounded familiar, and then when I texted you about it, you said that this was an XSL freshman.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, maybe that's where I've heard the name before. This album went from, I mean, I don't think it was an amazing album by any stretch, but this is a debut album, correct?
Correct. Yes. Yep.
For a debut album, this really grabbed me. Say A was an infectious song on my drive, and then slowly it just became more sexual, and by the end it was like I literally was like, Trey Songz has to be on this at some point, right? Like
what's
Chris
the song
Brown
with Chris Brown called? It's literally called
Fucking and Kissing.
Yeah.
Literally called Fucking and Kissing. I was like in my car and I was like feeling somewhat embarrassed by how like these lyrics are going. It was making me all hot and bothered. But I mean, this guy, he really, I think the range he showed from going from a really fun song like that to something really sexual, I think that means that he'll have like durability to make different kinds of projects, which I think will make him have a longer lasting, different impact than most of the ones that have come out recently. But I'm wondering what you thought of him, because if I like it, I don't know if that's a good thing or if that's like this guy's actually whack like on the DL.
All right. Well, I mean, he's not whack. He's very popular with the start there. He has 2 gold singles from before this. His breakout song, My Shit's platinum. That's a song that Drake became aware of and gave him a cosign, late 2015, early 2016, around then. And then a song from this album was a lead single called Drowning with Kodak Black. That's already platinum. That's his biggest song to date. That's it's in the top 50. It was in the top 50 at the Billboard chart earlier this year. So really big song for Boogie. And so like you say, he's an XXL freshman this year. He was one of the ones I predicted correctly. It's pretty obvious that his popularity would get him on the cover. And he also was on the Fast and Furious soundtrack. He has a song I really like called Horses with PNB Rock and Kodak, which is really good. That being said, I've never really gravitated towards him the way I've gravitated towards other new rappers, only because I haven't really been able to put him down. I don't think he really has that unique of a sound. He just he'll do some rapping, he'll do some singing. That's kind of what he does. I don't think there's a lot more going on. Ugly God is funny, and XXX is edgy, and Amine is really good, and Kamaya's got that Bay Area sound. But what does Boogie have? He's from New York, which is great. I like a New York rapper succeeding, but he doesn't sound like New York at all. So I don't think he's bad. He just has never really grabbed me. I listen to his popular songs, and I like My Shit. I think that's a good one, and Jungle's pretty good. But overall, I think he's not one of my favorites.
Interesting. Yeah. I guess if I had to really describe it, going from a song like Say A to Fucking and Kissing is almost like you went from Dram to literally Chris Brown. So I think if go ahead. I think if he can specify or start to mold more of what he actually wants to do and not be so broad, but start to focus it in a little bit more, he can actually probably be a pretty good artist in one of those lanes. But like you said, I think if he's going in between both, it probably doesn't bode well for him long term. Even though that contradicts exactly what I said, it would probably make him successful long term. So
he's only 21. It'd be fine. Yep.